why you want to wear elbow pads. This is why you want to wear elbow pads.
There was going to be one more enduro race in North Vietnam for the year of 2023. I hadn't been in one since Moc Chau in the spring. The main reason being was my favorite bike, my beautiful WR250F, was getting a complete engine rebuild. So I decided to use my backup dirt bike, my KDX 125, 1996. This race would be far in the northwest corner of Vietnam in Lai Chau. It had been cool and completely dry winter weather for the past 2 weeks. But naturally, the morning of the trip, I have been packing. Got my cat checking out my suitcase for me to make sure it's packed. Yeah. However, gotta get dressed soon. It has been dry for 3 weeks straight until tonight. It rained all night last night. I shuttled the bike down to the pickup spot, then went back to my flat to pick up my baggage. And whom should I meet when I got back? Kavin and Ben, or as I call them, Captain Crunch and Billy Bolt. Perfect weather. Perfect weather, man. It is. Raining. Disgusting. Hopefully it's not going to be like this when we get to the destination. We've been sitting here for an hour. Of course, none of the bikes are loaded and the truck isn't here. Apparently we are paying the gentleman over here $3 a bike to load our bikes for us so that we can leave. And so I'm going to have this bike loaded up, a whopping $3 for a load. I think that's very, very reasonable. So we're going to get on the bus over here, and hopefully our bikes will end up at the location 9-10 hours from now. Hooray! But now the 8-hour bus ride began. Hey punks, you guys ready to go?
Good day, doctor. I'm cold.
Gonna be a long ride, my man. It was a straight shot up the highway to Lao Cai, and then about an hour or two down some winding mountain roads to Lai Chau. But strangely, at about 1/4 of the way down the highway, the bus turned off the main road and started to drive down some narrow, winding, stomach pump roads. The scenery was great, but the problem was this added an extra 3.5 hours to our trip. So, over 11 hours later, we finally rolled into our homestay, where most of the racers would be staying for the whole weekend. I awoke at 5 a.m. as usual the next morning. Well, I gotta walk over and get my bike. Everyone's got their bike except for me because I slept through the time when the truck came. Nice scenery. We'll see how the race is. Here's the beauty. Now, will it start? Success. Before long, the riders were heading over to the race location in small groups. It looked like the whole town had turned out to see us. Since I was in the small engine open class, I was in the first heat right out of the gate. The big tires looked intimidating, but I went for it, and apparently Billy Bolt approved.
Easy, Caleb.
But I wasn't so lucky on the big tractor tires. Then I remembered to turn on my camera, of course. We weren't allowed to do a practice lap, so I really didn't know where I was going. Nothing new, I suppose. The engine power seemed okay, but the brakes were not so effective. Going down a hill, I saw a guy who had just gone off the track. Sweet. I could get my first overtake. I wouldn't be in last place this time. Yeah. Going down the hill, my weak front brake suddenly came into play. Front wheel in a ditch equals face plant.
Help! I'm seeing stars. Hanoi, Sugdi! Lemon!
No one was coming to help me again. So I had to muscle the bike out of the ditch.
There we go.
And watch as people began to pass me. I would wait about 5 minutes and then kick the bike about 7 or 8 times. But I just could not get that sucker started. And since I couldn't get the bike started, I stayed there for well over 20 minutes.
Get this thing started. Look out, look out, look out.
Oh, yeah!
Nara.
Let's go.
I think I'm out. I think I'm out and down for the count.
Somehow I was able to get it started.
My bike came to life. It's alive! It's alive! All right, I just got to finish this race.
It felt so good to be back in action. But honestly, I was taking it pretty slow for a few reasons.
My steering is very crooked. The bike is very squirrely. I'm just going to try to finish this lap. I don't think this thing's really in good enough shape to do the whole race. Ah, man. The brakes are crap. Boy, that fall did not make anything better, that's for sure.
And then came what Lai Chau racing is famous for, river crossings.
Oh no, here it comes. The water section. I'm not looking forward to this.
I sat down and paddled it through the stream. No big deal. But that low, muddy bank on the other side had other plans for me.
I made it!
And the snappy power just broke the back wheel loose on the run-up.
Not quite.
Well, let's try it again. I let some air out of my tires, and I gave it a launch and threw the bike up the slope. Success. And props to the forestry worker who did a Herculean effort to get me the rest of the way. Across the field, where was I going exactly? There was a good deal of open road, and my engine power began to fail me again. and it died just as I got it into the power band.
Yeah, this thing is conking out.
Back in action. To be honest, the scenery was quite nice and the trail was pretty fun. What was the issue with the power cutting out?
All right, it's doing it again, it's doing it again. Ah!
Not to mention the steam coming out of the radiator.
I'm overheating the bike. I gotta give it a breather. All right, well, I added some more water. I let it cool off a little bit. Let's see if I can finish this race without frying my engine. Well, I'm already in dead last place again. Well, I don't know. I got a good excuse. My bike is not working very well.
The bike died again.
What is wrong with this thing? No!
And then Benny Bolt blew past me.
He just lapped me again.
Even on these open areas, I had to go slow, and the engine cutting issue wasn't the only reason.
I can't go fast. These brakes are so terrible. If I try to go fast and slow down, I'm just going to go shooting off the corner, like I did last time.
But at least the sand piles provided a spot for some air time.
Yeah! Woo! I don't know where I'm going, but whatever. Okay, easy. Easy. Okay, there we go. Not so easy. There we go. Oh no. This looks familiar. Another river crossing. I'm just gonna walk it down. It's not worth even trying.
There was no point in trusting my crappy brakes. The river wasn't too difficult, but I got pointed in the wrong direction. And with these roly-poly river stones, it took some heaving to get it into the right direction. With all the engine problems, bad brakes, traction issues, there was only one thing that I could say.
I missed my four-stroke. I missed my four-stroke.
I lost the trail for a moment, but got back on track as the path led up a small stream. The problem was the power was nothing at the bottom end, and then it was full on when I got to the top, like an on-off switch with nothing in between. So naturally, I got stuck on a clay lip and just spun the wheel. I got it back on, and then it slipped off again.
I did it again. I gotta give it a breather.
A little while later, across the bridge, and I was going through the last few obstacles.
Not looking forward to this. Can I even do it? Try it.
I gave it a run up the steep little bank, and I made it.
Hi.
Oh boy.
Good. Finish. Yeah.
Now just to jump the blocks. But this engine was cutting out so much, I didn't trust the bike at all. So I decided to finish the lap and call it a day. I didn't want to run 2 or 3 laps in the next few heats and end up destroying the engine entirely. The bike had endured enough punishment.
Yeah,
What's up?
I mean, everything broke on this bike, it seemed like. The brakes weren't working. The engine died like 6 times, like I told you.
We can tune it.